So I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant here. I hope you don't mind. It's been a while. I posted a video last night of the Zipper from ADJ. I shot the light demo at Hot Water Warehouse nightclub, and while I was shooting the demo, there was a DJ in there who was auditioning for a spot. And he did a mashup of, let's see, Nomad's Devotion and Outkast's The Way You Move. And there was also a drum loop in there behind it all. I believe it was from Black Legends, You See the Trouble in Me. I mean, I heard it right away. I'm like, oh, that's what he's doing. It sounds pretty cool. The light actually performed very cool to the mashup. So I left the audio in the video. Sometimes I'll take the audio out and I'll do like a loop overdub or something, but I thought, hey, it's pretty cool, let's leave it. Didn't really think much of it. And then the comments started coming in. Hey, what are the tracks in this video? I was kind of shocked. I thought, you know, these are really basic songs. Okay, I'll give you a pass on Nomad's Devotion. It was a UK club hit 25 years ago. I mean, I know it, but if you don't know it, fine. But Outkast, The Way You Move? If you don't know that track, I mean, shame on you. That was the follow-up to Hey Ya. It's a big song. And I posted on Facebook my disbelief on how people didn't know these tracks. And a lot of people chimed in and defended not knowing them. This kid Aaron from Minnesota said, what's wrong with specializing? If you're an EDM DJ, why would you need to know 80s jams or anything else? It doesn't make any sense. Why is it relevant? Why would you even need to know these things? I got to thinking about it, and I actually made a post in the thread, but I don't think many people read it, so I'm making a video and making you listen to it. So while Aaron was posting that comment, I was at a soul food barbecue getting takeout. I was the only white boy there, and they were jamming a local urban station, you know, on the PA in there. And the first song I heard was Prince's International Lover. And if you don't know that track, it's like an R&B soul, like slow jam classic. And it's an album track. I don't think it was a single. It might have been. But it wasn't a mainstream single. It was definitely an R&B slow jam. Cool song. And then they followed it up with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough by Michael Jackson, which, you know, is a mainstream R&B disco crossover, and, you know, it's a cool track. We all probably know that one. The third track I heard was really bizarre. It was New Shoes, I Can't Wait. Now, this was an urban station. This wasn't a regular mainstream radio station. It's a local urban station, and they were jamming to New Shoes. And you wouldn't think, you know, that would work with an R&B soul audience, but it did. That track is actually an American track that went to Europe, and there was a Dutch remix of it, and then it came back to the US and became a hit. And it's almost like a freestyle track. But that DJ knew enough about music to know that that song would work in his set. Now, it wouldn't be on my radar. If I were to do a set starting with International Lover, I wouldn't end it with New Shoes. But he did, and it worked, because he knew more than just a bunch of R&B and soul music. So let's talk about EDM DJs for a minute. I just want to get this out of the way. Daft Punk, the biggest EDM artists, I think we'll all agree, the most popular, the most well-known, the ones we all look up to the most. The two biggest albums were Homework and Discovery. Now, Discovery, that was all samples of music from probably 78 through 83, and it was disco and R&B and soul stuff that they sampled. And they even did some older stuff. They did some rock. There's some ELO in there and some strange things like that that they sampled in that album. They knew more than just EDM. They knew that music, and they were able to take that music and turn it into EDM, which is pretty clever. If that's not good enough for you, let's talk about Zedd. Zedd is one of the big EDM producers out there right now, and I think that many of you would agree his stuff is very unique. It's beautifully crafted. It doesn't sound like anyone else's stuff. And the reason for this is because Zedd is a classically trained musician. He's doing Mozart and Schubert and Wagner and all of this stuff, and he hears the Justice Cross album and he says to himself, that's interesting. I should try to do something like that. And he applies what he knows about classical music to EDM and produces this amazing stuff that I think we'll all be hearing for years and years to come. And then you have people like the late DJ AM. I've heard firsthand accounts of this guy playing big club nights in Vegas. It's all EDM, the place is going crazy. Then at midnight, he throws on Chubby Checkers The Twist. And not only is that really weird? But it works, and he understands it works, and the crowd goes batshit crazy. Well, that's not EDM. It's not club music. It was definitely done before he was born. Why would he know that? What would be the point of knowing Chubby Checkers the Twist? He put it in his set, and it worked. Grandmaster Flash does similar stuff to that. And these are the guys that I look up to. Like, Flash is a hip-hop icon. He pretty much invented modern turntablism. The stuff that Flash discovered and shared with us and recorded is stuff that we all emulate today as DJs, all of us. Scratchings, backspins, phases, and 75 other techniques that I haven't mastered. But he's definitely the guy to look up to. And I've heard Flash perform in the US and in the UK. And when I heard him perform in the UK, he was doing this really wicked hip-hop set. It was really good. The crowd was responding very well. And then he dropped Come On Eileen, which is like a Celtic pop song. And it has nothing to do at all with hip-hop. And the crowd went absolutely crazy because Flash understood that. He knew his audience, he knew his music, and he knew what he could do. He knew the liberties he could take with the audience, with these other genres, because he knew them. And I guess that's my point. Is it relevant to know other music other than whatever you're specializing in? I mean, I specialize in wedding receptions, but I know more music than just what you play at a wedding reception. Because sometimes stuff pops up. And sometimes I can drop tracks that are kind of cool and out of left field. If you only know EDM, if you're an EDM DJ, you're not going to be able to do that. All you're going to be able to do is one thing. It gets really boring after a while. If you want to be great, if you really want to be a great DJ, expand yourself, open your mind, listen to all kinds of stuff. You might not dig it, but at least you know it. At least you're familiar with it. At least it's not, you know, hearing Outkast, The Way You Move, and saying, what's that? This is stuff you guys should all know. And you know what? That's my opinion. And sometimes I get it wrong. I think I'm right on this one. And if you want to argue with me, you go right ahead and do it in the comments section. But I just had to get it out there. Know your music and not just your niche. It'll help you out. If you want to be great, that's my advice. So, that's it. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.